a symbol of elite luxury. A premium hand-rolled cigar can sell for thousands of dollars and in rare cases even reach prices in the millions of dollars. But what exactly inside a single cigar makes it so extraordinarily valuable? There is no gold plating, no diamonds embedded, only hand-rolled tobacco leaves. Yet to create a truly authentic cigar it can take more than 600 pairs of hands, pass through hundreds of individual steps, and sometimes require up to 5 years of waiting. In this video we step inside some of the world's most renowned cigar workshops to uncover the complete process behind one of the most refined and luxurious handcrafted products on the planet. Once the name that dominated the global cigar map, Cuba was long regarded as a sacred ground, a place where every cigar was considered the absolute benchmark. Today, however, the title of the world's largest cigar exporting nation belongs to the Dominican Republic, with annual production exceeding 250 million cigars. The reason goes beyond politics or trade alone, it lies in quality, as brands such as Davidoff, Arturo Fuente and La Flor Dominicana have elevated the art of hand-rolling to an entirely new level. So between a tradition-rich Cuban cigar and a modern Dominican cigar, which side would you choose? Yet regardless of where it is made, a cigar is still a product of tobacco leaves closely associated with luxury and refinement. Cigars are often mistaken as being less harmful than cigarettes. In reality, a single cigar can contain 10 to 20 times more nicotine, and even without deep inhalation, toxins are absorbed through the oral mucosa, leading to addiction with regular use over time. This habit increases the risk of cancers of the mouth, larynx and esophagus, as well as gum damage. Cigar smoke is also denser and heavier than cigarette smoke, and for those exposed passively on a frequent basis it can still cause lung and respiratory problems. The journey of a premium cigar does not begin inside a factory but with seeds smaller than the head of a pin. These seeds are carefully selected, then sown into sterile soil trays and lightly covered with a growing medium, just enough to retain moisture while still allowing light to pass through. Each tray is placed inside a sealed greenhouse where temperature, humidity and light are monitored with near hour-by-hour precision. Within just a few days the first green shoots begin to emerge. Over the next 4 to 6 weeks the seedlings grow steadily until they reach a height of approximately 5.9 to 7.9 inches. At that stage they are ready to leave the greenhouse and enter the fields. On high-end farms dedicated to handcrafted cigars, transplanting is done entirely by hand. Each seedling is placed in straight rows in loose aerated soil, with spacing measured down to a single hand's width to prevent leaf overlap and to give the roots enough room to anchor deeply. Some more modern farms may use mechanical assistance, but this spacing principle is never compromised. On many plantations in the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua, farmers also follow a strict planting schedule. Early morning only at that hour, sunlight is gentle, humidity is high, and the soil remains soft, creating ideal conditions for young plants to take root without heat stress or moisture loss. Once the tobacco plants have taken root and established steady growth in the fields, cultivation enters its most critical phase, growth control, aimed at producing the highest quality leaves possible. This stage lasts approximately 6 to 8 weeks. Each day growers closely monitor leaf color, stem firmness, soil moisture and growth rate, adjusting irrigation frequency accordingly. Depending on the terrain, either drip irrigation systems or hand watering are used, but the goal remains the same, ensuring that every plant receives sufficient water and nutrients. When the plants reach a height of approximately 3.9 to 4.9 feet, pale purple flower buds begin to form at the top. This signals the moment for topping, the manual removal of the plant's upper tip before the flowers bloom. By doing so, the plant's energy is redirected away from reproduction and concentrated entirely on leaf development. At the same time, lateral shoots are selectively removed to prevent nutrient dispersion and to allow the remaining leaves to mature evenly and fully. When the plant stalk grows beyond 4.9 feet, harvesting begins, carried out leaf by leaf in clearly defined layers. Depending on its position along the stalk, each leaf develops a different strength profile, aroma and nicotine content. Unlike mass harvesting, this process unfolds over more than 1 month, because after each picking round the plant is left standing so the remaining leaf tiers can continue to mature. Farmers harvest in stages, moving upward layer by layer, each tier contributing a distinct role to the cigar's complex flavor composition. The lowest layer is known as Valadu, thin lightweight leaves that burn evenly and are commonly used as the combustion base inside the filler to maintain a steady burn. About 1 week later, the viso leaves from the middle section are harvested. These leaves are thicker, more elastic and mildly aromatic, serving to balance both flavor and structure. Finally comes the ligero, the topmost leaves, thick and rich in essential oils and nicotine due to prolonged sun exposure. This is the strongest leaf type, typically placed deep within the cigar's core to add body and extend the finish. Unlike industrial tobacco, where entire plants can be mechanically cut down in just a few minutes, cigar tobacco is harvested entirely by hand. The reason is simple: each leaf must remain intact, unbroken, unbruised, and picked at the precise stage of ripeness. Only then is it worthy of becoming part of a truly handcrafted cigar. Once the first leaves are harvested, the next stage does not involve industrial drying machines but traditional curing barns. Each leaf is folded at the stem and hung over horizontal wooden poles stretching from one end of the barn to the other. Depending on the tobacco variety and the desired flavor profile, different curing methods may be used, including air curing, sun curing, heat curing, or smoke curing. This is where the curing process truly begins, not merely drying the leaves but a slow biological transformation. Chlorophyll gradually breaks down while aromatic compounds begin to form. Even more remarkable is how the scent inside the barn changes day by day. In the early days, the air carries a raw, grassy sharpness with a hint of acidity. As time passes, the leaves release a softer, sweeter aroma. Rows of hanging leaves fill the ceiling like a sprawling web. Over the course of 30 to 45 days, the leaves dry slowly and transition in color from green to yellow and finally to a copper-brown tone, the signature shade of properly cured tobacco. Experienced workers do not rely on instruments. Instead, they test readiness by touch and by scent. Humidity and airflow are manually regulated by opening or closing the wooden windows that line the curing barn. A delayed adjustment of just a few hours can cause an entire batch to become brittle and crumble, develop white mold, and rot completely or lose its aroma altogether. Once the tobacco leaves have been cured to the proper level of flexibility, they are gathered and stacked into large piles known as pylons. These stacks are not mechanically pressed; instead the leaves compress gently under their own weight, just enough to create the conditions for natural fermentation. To monitor this process, workers insert a hollow metal tube deep into the center of each pile. Inside, the pylon temperature begins to rise as a result of natural biological reactions. If the internal temperature exceeds 122 degrees Fahrenheit, the entire stack is dismantled, turned by hand, and rebuilt, a procedure that must be repeated 3 to 5 times over the course of the fermentation cycle. For thicker, oil-rich leaves such as ligero, fermentation can last up to 6 weeks. Thinner leaves like viso or valladou require a shorter period, typically 3 to 4 weeks. After completing the first fermentation stage, each tobacco leaf has undergone a noticeable transformation. This is when master craftsmen begin the manual sorting phase. Individual bundles are carefully taken apart, spread across large tables, and examined one leaf at a time. Each leaf is evaluated based on its original position on the plant, thickness, oil content, color, vein structure, and elasticity. From there, the leaves are separated according to their intended role: filler for the inner core, binder to hold the structure together, and wrapper for the outermost layer, selected for its smoothness and visual perfection. Once sorting is complete, the leaves are regrouped into bundles of approximately 35 to 50 leaves, gently tied with natural fiber cords, and transferred into storage rooms. For premium cigars, some producers go even further, labeling each bundle by harvest year and growing region, preserving precise traceability for aging and blending in the years ahead. Before the leaves can be blended, there is one absolutely critical step remaining: removing the central stem. If left intact, the stem would cause the cigar to feel uneven and burn inconsistently. However, the stem cannot be removed while the leaf is dry. For that reason, the entire bundle must first be reconditioned through carefully controlled rehumidification. Each bundle is placed inside a humidity-controlled room or covered with damp cloths for approximately 12 to 24 hours. Once the leaves reach the proper level of softness and flexibility, the destemming process can begin. Skilled workers pull gently along the length of the leaf, separating the stem from base to tip by hand. For wrapper and binder leaves, the central stem is removed completely to ensure a smooth surface and a tight, seamless wrap. For filler leaves, however, only the lower portion of the stem may be removed, leaving a small structural core that helps maintain an even burn and extends the overall smoking time of the cigar. Once the fermentation process is complete, the leaf bundles are compactly tied and neatly stacked inside aging rooms. Here time itself becomes the only ingredient. Some premium wrapper leaves are aged for as long as 10 years before they are ever put into use. Each bundle is carefully labeled with the tobacco variety, its original position on the plant, and the date aging began. Once the aging process is complete, the leaf bundles are ready for blending. This is the moment when master blenders re-evaluate every aged leaf once again. Their task is to combine different leaves so they complement one another, some to sustain combustion, others to shape aroma, and others still to add depth and warmth. The most experienced blenders can detect these differences through the lightest touch at their fingertips or by the scent carried in the air itself. Once the blend formula is finalized, everything is ready for the next step, shaping it into a cigar. The process begins with the filler. Each leaf is rolled into a loose spiral, forming a soft core that allows smoke to flow smoothly through the cigar. A binder leaf is then wrapped around this core, a thicker, more elastic leaf whose role is to hold the entire filler firmly together. The binder is applied by hand, gently pressed in a spiral motion from bottom to top, ensuring there are no folds or gaps. Next, the cigar is placed into a wooden press mold, typically containing 6 to 8 grooves, and held under moderate pressure for several tens of minutes. Once removed from the mold, the cigar is passed to the wrapper table. Here the roller must work with extreme finesse, leaving no creases, concealing every seam and smoothing each turn of the wrapper tightly while preserving its natural elasticity. At the final step, the head of the cigar is neatly trimmed and a small drop of vegetable-based adhesive is applied to seal it, completing a true handcrafted cigar. For a skilled artisan, this entire process takes only 2 to 5 minutes, but reaching that level of mastery requires many years of training and practice. After being rolled, a cigar cannot be packaged immediately. First, it must undergo manual quality inspection. The inspector gently rotates the cigar under focused light, checking whether the wrapper surface shows uniform color and whether any creases or tears are present. The cigar is then tested for density. The body is lightly pressed along its length to ensure the filler is evenly distributed with no hollow spots and no areas packed too tightly. After completing inspection, cigars that meet quality standards are set aside for additional aging, lasting from several weeks to several months before being transferred to the packaging room. Each cigar is sorted by product line, size, and wrapper color, then carefully placed into wooden boxes or premium paper boxes lined with protective inserts to prevent impact or damage. Cedarwood boxes remain the most popular choice, not only for their sense of luxury but also for their ability to retain humidity and preserve the cigar's natural aroma. Some high-end lines are packaged entirely by hand, sealed with official bands fitted with brand labels, and may even include certificates listing the batch, number, harvest year, and the roller responsible for crafting the cigar. A box of cigars does not merely contain tobacco. It holds history, craftsmanship, and the pride of those behind it. Every layer of leaf, every hand-rolling motion is the result of generations of artisans who have devoted their lives to preserving this living craft. Smoking a cigar is not a habit. It is a ritual, a deeply personal experience, unhurried and immersive. If you found this video engaging, do not forget to hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts below, and subscribe to the Quantivox Tech channel, so you do not miss the next journeys into the craftsmanship and industries that quietly shape our world.